listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. This is a morning shoot for us, so that was a very, very...
Don't tell people where we are.
I'm sorry, we're in the morning.
Yeah, we're in the morning. They don't know where we are. What if they try to find us?
That's true.
I went to the morning the other day. Yeah, and then they'll be like, "Oh, nice to meet you."
Yeah, we try to send them to the afternoon if possible.
Yeah, way afternoon, into the evening. Like
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. See you later.
I'm Nikki Davis Jr. I am a stand-up esthetician, licensed comedian.
Nice.
It's harder to do in the morning.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially because you keep letting your license lapse. Stand-up license.
My stand-up license,
You have to get your CEs, your continuing education credits.
Oh, I didn't even... God, that was a smart thing to say this early in the morning.
Thank you. My mother was a hairdresser.
But the CEs, she had to take some...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did take some of those classes, like the inside of the jaw work but I just didn't know there was a name for it.
Yeah, you have to keep up so many credits to build up your thing or something like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, with me as usual...
Are we doing this now?
Whirl?
Oh, wow. I guess we could hold hands.
Yeah, we've been together for 12 years, so I think it's time.
Well, I can't wait to meet your mom.
No, you can.
I can't wait.
No, she's wonderful.
She's a nice... I like her.
Yeah.
I do. I know. She's very nice.
Just in case you're watching. Yeah. This is Sandro Yocolano, my boyfriend / Sherpa / set decorator / chauffeur.
I think I was going to say Slash
today.
from Guns N' Roses.
Slash from Guns N' Roses.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I decorated the set. And here we go.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Thank you. I made these pillows.
He's been crocheting all morning.
Yes, these are from the polyester plants in, I think, Nairobi is where they grow the finest nylon. Yeah, so.
They're taken from, innocent nylon animals.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
They wake up and they're like, "Oh, I just want to be a nylon worm." Because the silkworms, they get all the
silkworm, that's right.
But the polyester comes from spiders, right? Isn't it?
Polyester yes, it comes from spiders, babe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not that we got to the bottom of it.
Yeah. By the way, this is not any planned dialogue that we have going on over here. And I'm talking to the guest who's sitting over there.
This is all scripted.
Yeah, this is all scripted. No, it's still not. We have a really special guest today. So I want to get to that kind of as quickly as possible. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, let me just talk about my weekend real quick. Let me yeah, of course. I'm down. I'm excited.
Okay, I made some notes because I want to make sure that I say and express because we're meeting her now through Caitlin Allen, right?
Yep.
Big friend of the show. And we just love her so much. And they have a collab going right now. So this person that's come in, she's an extraordinary guest. She's, I want to say her name at the end. She's a trailblazer in the world of beauty and wellness and technology.
That's a good word.
You like that?
Wow, you're making up stuff. I like it.
I need some more coffee.
Seamlessly is the next.
Yeah, seamlessly.
Yeah.
Ironically is the next word.
Yeah.
What she's done is she's merging science and spirituality, which I've not heard before in a practice, to help people achieve their highest potential. Right?
I dig that.
And I'm a very naturally based skincare person.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm. So I was naturally attracted to what she's doing because it really kind of brings those two things together. Yeah. She likes to put the treatments that she does and they're a lot more on the natural looking. She wants to make you look like you, but better. She treats beauty really kind of like an art and it's a science.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to just mention a few more things. Well, anyway, she's going to talk about things like biohacking. Well, if we're going to learn what that is, peptides. Hopefully we'll get to the weight loss part of it.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of cutting edge treatments that I want to bring up today that I'm going to get your approval for another time for myself. This is every time we do a podcast, it's basically just a passive aggressive note to my boyfriend. Things he needs to do or thing I need to do.
Yeah. What was that one episode?
Sugar?
How to get off sugar, and then does your boyfriend have man boobs? And it was just me and two other women on the show. I don't understand what the hell's going on, but yeah. I think the idea of spirituality and the science is nice because you get people from both sides that are like, will buy into it and see the overlap.
Yeah.
Some people can be skeptical about one or the other, and it's nice to have that. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested to find that out more.
We just before I bring her out, we actually were talking, and she said something that was super cool to me, that she said it was like of a divine sort of meeting of the two of us.
I think of everything that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Orchestration, divine orchestration from the universe when people are supposed to connect.
Do you see why I like her already?
Yes, I get it. Yep.
All right. So I'm going to switch you guys' seat. Yes, I know.
Okay.
She's super great energy. Coming to the couch, the very, very beautiful. I've heard she's extremely funny.
Oh God, no pressure.
I know, no pressure. But she's amazing. And when we just, with everything that we just described, you guys put your hands together for Jennifer Tabiza.
Thank you, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We are so excited that you're here today.
I'm excited to be here. This is fun.
This is super fun.
Yeah. I
What-
love talking about all the things that you want to talk about with me.
Oh my God. Well, I'm an esthetician.
Okay.
And
Yes.
are you also an esthetician? But I know
am
you're a
not.
doctor, but
I'm
yeah.
not, no.
But you're a doctor.
I'm my own esthetician.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a licensed esthetician.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. So you have a connection to beauty and skincare and all that. So
Yeah.
that's why we're both here today.
I came up learning back from, like when I started in the late 90s, that like the person that taught me was like, she was very much against a lot of the stuff that was going on in plastic surgery and like any of that stuff. But it's so far advanced now.
Yes.
From where it was,
Yes.
What is that, 26, 27 years ago?
Yeah.
And that's why I was so excited to have you
I know.
here.
Well, beauty tools have been changing and evolving through time since the beginning of time, right? We've been using all kinds of modalities to enhance our beauty. But really what I represent is sort of a passion I have, which I've always loved goddesses and deities. And I sort of studied their essence. They sort of emanate this divine feminine presence when you really look at who they are, their stories, like Cleopatra, Aphrodite, they had sacred beauty rituals, although they didn't have the tech we have today.
Right.
Cleopatra was taking milk baths. Aphrodite was, bathing herself in oils. And what this really was showing that beauty is this sacred thing. It's this thing that kind of helps you embody a certain frequency.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
the new
Yeah.
age of beauty that I see for the future.
Mhm.
Whereas, we've sort of been spending our time figuring out how to use these techs, like overfilling and kind of changing the way we look was
Right.
the big disconnect in beauty in the last, I want to say 20 years. And I think it turned a lot of people off from it.
Yeah.
And it made them feel it was vain and that something was inherently wrong with them in having a beauty treatment
And
done.
nobody wants to admit it, or at least they didn't. But now it's
I
more
don't know
like,
if we could see it. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. It was a new toy, a new tool that we figured out. And it's
Right.
like, now we're in the era of refining it.
Mhm.
And I do kind of feel like there's a lot of synergy between what's going on in the world with how we're going to bring technology into our lives to fortify ourselves, not take us over. Because that's not what tech is meant to do. It's not meant to change us. It's not meant to replace us. It's here to enhance us. And in my spiritual work, which is a little bit separate from my beauty work, I teach that, well, let me ask you this. It's a fun question. Do you believe in aliens?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
Mhm,
All
I
right.
do.
So we know they exist, right?
I think they live under the ocean.
The
Sorry.
thought
go
I
ahead.
like
Yeah.
to connect with aliens and beauty, believe me, there's a connection, is that aliens, if they're truly traveling through the cosmos, finding wormholes to get here, that means they successfully merged with technology in a way that didn't replace them and enhanced them. It helped them reach a point of unity consciousness. They're not fighting wars with each other. They're literally spending time traversing the cosmos. How
They're
cool
on
is that?
vacation.
They're on vacation. And believe it or not, every intelligent being is somewhat on that path. And I do work with aliens. But let's get back to beauty. Okay.
Yeah.
So the connecting the dots is there is a connection to beauty because it is part of my archetype. It's part of what I love. And it's just about really taking advantage of the cool tech that's out there, not to take you over, not to make you someone you're not, but to help you have that inner glow of confidence. When you invest in yourself, you move through the world differently, and so there's a lot of different treatments out there right now. So we're here to just kind of talk about my favorites, honestly.
Absolutely.
Frankly.
Yes, please share with me.
So, gosh, where should we start? So biohacking, that's a fun buzzword. Have you guys kind of gotten into that at all?
I've only just heard the word.
Yeah.
What do you think about the word?
I don't even know what it means. I guess I don't know.
Hacking
into your biography. No, just kidding.
So it's basically using things like peptides and enzymes to mimic what our body does. So it's nothing artificial in the sense that when we use a peptide is something our body already makes. It is just basically part of an amino acid. And amino acids are like the text messages of our body. When they travel through our body, they tell our body what to do: produce collagen, burn fat, reverse disease and aging in the body. So now what we're refining in this world of biohacking is how to use them for specific things that we want to enhance. And that's sort of where beauty is headed, because think about it. If you're healthy inside, you're already going to look better. You're going to just have a glow. You're going to look healthier. You're going to have an aura that's different because you feel so good. Right. Your energy is higher. So if you want, we can talk about a few specifics. I don't know.
Yeah, please. My God. Yes.
So I'm really loving a few specific ones I find that most people could benefit from. The first one is BPC 157. Okay. So that's really good for gut health and muscle repair and tissue damage. So you can use that, you can use it consistently, or you can use it just to support those specific issues you might be having.
Is it a supplement or something that you?
It's a peptide. So you would inject it. And so injecting it, the protocol that we give you is sort of dependent on what's going on with you. We actually also do blend it. So let's say you come in and you have had some injuries, but also you want to lose weight. That takes me into the bigger conversation of GLP-1s. So these are also peptides. Did you guys know that?
No.
And have you heard the word GLP-1s?
No.
I don't know.
No, this is all new to us.
GLP-1s are the semaglutides, tirzepatides, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro.
Oh, okay.
So those are the brand names.
Okay.
Semaglutide, tirzepatide. And again, just like most things that come out, not saying they got misused, but the perception of them was, oh my goodness, the rich people are getting super skinny.
Right. Yeah.
What about me?
Yeah.
But it is for everyone. And GLP-1s essentially do a myriad of things, but the magical thing they do is help us cope with living in America, which is, you guys know what we're exposed to: microplastics, chemicals, foods we're not supposed to be eating, preservatives, modified foods. What happens is when you eat these things regularly, your body is in an inflammatory state. And so losing weight has no longer become about willpower. It's about gut health, hormone balance, and your metabolism. And unfortunately, you could eat 1 carrot a day and work your butt off out in the gym and not lose any weight.
Because of the inflammation?
Yes, because of the inflammation. If you have gut inflammation, your body is dedicating much more to the inflammatory process than to weight loss. So it's not going to burn fat. There's a cascade of events that goes on. Like when your cortisol is high, glucagon is low.
We've been talking about cortisol constantly lately.
So that's a buzzword because, cortisol face, I'm sure you heard
and
of.
Belly, cortisol belly.
Cortisol belly.
Yeah.
So glucagon is the receptor that needs to be stimulated to burn fat. And it's sort of suppressed when there's a lot of cortisol in the body.
Oh.
And so, for example, there is a GLP-1 that's newer and it's still considered research purposes only, but we're allowed to use it. It's called retatrutide. And retatrutide is the first GLP-1 in this there's new generations of them all the time, that actually works on GLP receptors, GIP receptors, and glucagon. So it's going to work on how hungry you are.
Okay.
So it changes. Think of this. Are you guys addicted to anything? Like vaping, smoking, anything that you're like, I have to have it? Like,
I'm not anymore. Would you say
that's
you're addicted to anything?
No, I mean, I do enjoy marijuana all the time and coffee throughout the entire day.
Okay.
But
I didn't want to throw them under the bus.
You're on my lifestyle. Don't worry.
Yeah.
let's think of something like vaping. Like a lot of people are addicted to vaping and smoking. What happens is your brain has a lot of sort of receptors that are waiting for that drug, right? And so what GLP-1s do that's very interesting is they reduce the positive feedback you get when you ingest it. Smoking, food, anything. Anything addictive. So a lot of people are taking GLP-1s and noticing, like, I don't need other things anymore that I'm like kind of addicted to. I just don't get the high off of it. So imagine you eat a piece of cheesecake and you're like, meh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a feeling that our brain is addicted to. It's like you're craving that high from it, and you begin to dissociate from food a little bit as this thing of huge amounts of pleasure. Now, I love food. I'm not against it, but we might have a slightly unhealthy balance sometimes with how we look at food. Like we want it to resolve problems, make us feel better, all that kind of stuff. So there's that aspect.
It doesn't.
Ice cream every night helps you sleep. Doesn't, not well, but it does help.
That's why
you.
I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I mean, truly, my viewpoint is I love indulgences and luxuries and food. I eat a cookie every night. I think it's all about balance. You know, you can indulge, but it helps you regulate yourself where you just have a bit of something and you're good. You're happy. You're like, oh, I'm fulfilled. I can move on, you know, instead of that endless need for more. So it helps that really, really well. Yeah. And a lot of us suffer from that more than we realize. So there's that aspect. But the other aspect is because it works on these other receptors, it does reduce inflammation in the body. So like my mom has arthritis and she's thin, but I give her a little dose to reduce inflammation and she doesn't have pain. So you can use it in sort of like these indirect ways. We can use a really small dose just for longevity. Why? Because if you live in America or any chaotic place, we're pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
Your stress levels are naturally higher just from living in this world. Even if you have peace and all that good stuff, you kind of bump into these energies all the time. So you can do a microdose of a GLP-1 just for longevity, because inflammation also does something else. You guys know about DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not talking total alien.
No,
No, you're good.
DNA, the length of the telomere. So telomere is the end of your DNA. Okay. It gets shorter as you age. And there are certain things that make it shorter faster. That's why people age at different rates. You know, like I'm a couple thousand years old. No one knows. Sure. And it's because I've been working on my telomeres. And so there's a lot of holistic, beautiful things like sound baths and healing that can help telomere length as well. But I'm talking about the biohacking world where we use peptides. Because we're reducing so much inflammation, it actually has been showing to increase telomere length, which means you can actually age in reverse.
Wow.
You can. It's possible, and it might actually be the future of where we're headed if we use it right.
It sounds like it's going to be.
Yes.
So inflammation is basically like the culprit in all of that. Yeah. Because I've also heard like even when like I remember a couple of years ago they were like, oh, heart disease and whatnot. It's not so much the actual like function of the heart; it's the inflammation caused by or that causes that issue. It's fascinating.
And there's sort of like an Eastern medicine approach to disease that I find kind of like is more spiritually aligned, which is the organs that end up having disease, like let's say your heart, is where all your trapped emotions are. So it's not a coincidence that most men die of heart disease.
Oh, wow.
They have trouble with the expression of the heart throughout their lifetime.
Yep.
And that's where the energies are sort of held. So if you think about it, most of our trauma is actually stored in a body part. There was a really good example someone gave to me, which is imagine you ate something as a child and you like kept throwing up and you'll never forget eating it, like pickles, and you can never eat it again.
Yeah.
The memory is not in your brain, it's in your throat.
Right.
You feel it there, right? And so kind of helps you understand how we store all of our traumatic experiences through life somewhere in our body.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about this too, like the liver for anger and like the gut for,
so
I
you
guess
have heard about this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there's a connection there. There's also a peptide I'm wondering if you've heard about because you can use this in your work as an esthetician. It's called GHKCU. It's CU is copper. Okay. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So this is a peptide you can use topically and you can inject it. You can use it on your scalp. You can use it on your skin, and it's really good at restoring the skin and boosting collagen. And it's good for hair stimulation.
That I need.
So I love it because peptides in skincare are like a big thing.
It's like a precursor, right?
This is, they just say peptides. They're really general. This is one of the specific ones that you can order and you can use. And it's excellent. A lot of people just want to use skincare that isn't by a brand or a line. I'm like, just get your hands on some GHK oil. It's really profound. I use it on my scalp and my hair all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's another really good one. There's another one that do you guys know the guy? His motto is never die. I think his name is Brian Johnson. Have you guys heard of him? He's the guy trying to live forever.
Oh, yes. I watched a documentary on that guy.
Yeah. So he's really well known in the longevity space, which I'm kind of part of that community. And he uses peptides like CJC 1295. These are actually annoying because you have to inject them pretty regularly, but they do help reverse aging. And they've been shown to help reduce aging just by kind of like helping the cells restore faster. And so peptides are sort of magic.
Is that also like increasing the length of your DNA as well?
The telomeres, anything that is anti-aging is basically doing that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because you have, for example, one of the reasons why we get wrinkles is the genes that turn on and make collagen are slowing down because the telomere length is shorter. So it's not doing it anymore.
Right.
So when you use GHK, it's stimulating those genes that know how to do it. Your body is like a little machine, and we're just like hitting codes to turn it on.
Right.
That's what biohacking is.
I love
and
that.
so you can, at My Med Spa, what we do is we kind of do like a whole consult of understanding what are your goals in health and in beauty.
Mm-hmm.
We come up with a protocol that's sustainable for you. We're not trying to overwhelm people there's endless things, as you can tell.
Oh my God, yeah.
But some key things that are important to you, and it can change everything. When you feel better, you look better. When you look better, you attract more things in your life. It's like a magnet.
Yeah.
It really is.
I believe you.
And sometimes people don't know where to start, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Just know there's a plethora of things. And if you're in the right hands of the right professional, they'll gear you in the right direction. There's a lot of great people working in the biohacking space, including myself.
This is the first I've heard of it. So this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. There are also fun beauty tools. Like I brought this today.
Yeah.
So this
so
is
cool. Sorry, I got really excited.
I brought this for our host. But basically this is a mist. So this is turning water into a hydrogen vapor. Now this just looks like a water vapor, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
When you isolate hydrogen and you mist yourself with it, you can mist your eyes with it. Hydrogen is the smallest molecule on the planet.
Okay.
So it's going to get into cells really well. And it's a natural antioxidant. So there's also some easy beauty things that are profound and work, and you could buy a beauty tool and it endlessly will produce for you. So it's kind of really exciting.
Wow. And then where do you get like the fluid that goes in there?
This is just pure water, like just clean pure
and it just
water.
Separates it?
It's going to separate it out. It works for about 3 years, and then it'll stop separating out the hydrogen efficiently. But we use hydrogen. We have a device that you can inhale hydrogen while you're doing red light therapy. And so hydrogen is like you're breathing it. You guys take antioxidants, you eat it, you're breathing it in. You're breathing it in, your lungs are getting it. For us, like smokers. And I use it all the time.
Yeah.
So it just helps. One of our longevity stacks, we call it a stack. So this is like a protocol that's like ready to go and easy to use. We give to people is you come in once a week, every day, whatever you want. And you're doing red light, or I have every color light, depending what's going on with you, while you're breathing in hydrogen, while you're standing on what's called a micro impact plate.
What's that, like a grounding surface?
So no, micro impact plates are so cool. They're sort of the new era of vibration plates, and vibrations promote stem cells. So when you stand on them for 30 minutes, and it's just like this slight vibration, what's happening is it's going to lead to bone production. It causes lymphatic drainage. When you get like a lymphatic massage, it's the equivalent of that. So it's going to pull fluid out of your body faster. And stem cells are the cells in our body that need to be released in order to create new tissue. So it's the magic seed of all things.
Okay.
Wow. You can even get a stem cell infusion. We do that as well.
Is that what PRP is? Or that's different?
That's a very good question. I do love PRP as a micro treatment.
Okay.
Kind of going into that combo. PRP is where we draw your blood out and we separate what's called the plasma. It's like the liquid gold. It's got all the growth factors. So it's your own. It's growth factors. It's not stem cells. They are a little bit different. One is the actual cell that will turn into anything. So a stem cell can turn, if it's near my knee, it will turn into cartilage. If it's near my skin, it'll turn into skin cells.
Oh, wow.
It's omnipotent. It's like, God in a cell. It can turn into anything.
It's the potato of cells. It can be au gratin. It could be French fries, anything.
I love that.
Yeah, mashed potatoes. Okay. Sorry, I like to chime in with scientific stuff.
No, I love it. Yeah. I got another scientist over here.
Yeah.
But plasma is naturally in your blood, helping supply just like signals for tissue to repair, but it's not an omnipotent cell. So it's a little bit less potent. Not it still works. It's just different. There's so many different things that they all do different things. So I've had a few stem cell infusions and actually just had my biological age tested, which you can do.
Whoa.
And I was 16 years younger than my age.
Wow.
So that's how much telomere length it's worked on, but also tissue it's repaired and hormone balancing it can do. So I'm a big fan. The only problem with stem cells is they're a little bit unapproachable for people because of the cost.
Right.
But, again, we make a budget for ourselves based on what we believe in. So I just want to educate people that health and beauty, if they're number one, everything else kind of becomes a magnet. It just trickles into your life in some really profound ways.
Also, VCRs used to be like $1,200 and now they're like available for everybody. So,
we'll see what happens with stem cells. We'll see, I'm kind of following RFK's mission. He's aligned with sort of how I think about the food, the industry, the corruption and the things we eat. And he has spoken about it. The big threat is that stem cells could take away medicine.
Right.
So you guys know what that means.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That means pharmaceutical companies won't be happy. So there are reasons why they're not abundantly available.
I believe it.
They shouldn't have to be this expensive. They just keep it at bay, and they're considered for research purposes too. So a lot of these things are not FDA approved,
right? Which
the FDA really cares about us. I don't know, but I think people are empowering themselves. Like we have so much access to education and information that we're kind of all learning like the truths behind things.
Yeah,
we're in that era.
Oh,
Truth is coming out.
It's coming out
in every industry.
Mm-hmm. This year is like boom.
Yeah. From like Hollywood to medicine to spirituality to aliens. It's like no matter what you talk about, there's so much disclosure, which is kind of fun.
I love it.
I'm a rabbit hole of a person. I just rabbit hole everything.
You on TikTok a lot?
I'm on TikTok a lot. My nickname is Jenny Bunny for a reason.
You're doing another rabbit hole.
I really love the mysteries of the universe, but also I really deep dive most things I'm interested in. So that's why I can talk about it endlessly. Yeah. And I hold space for that because not everyone has the capacity to do that. So I just love to share what I learned in my rabbit hole adventure.
Wow. And so what you're talking about in this part is like a holistic sort of thing. Like it's not just like I'm going to inject this here, inject this there, inject that, whatever.
Yes.
You're treating the whole body.
I do. I try to get people to think that way. Not everyone's in that mindset yet. There is a wave of us sort of having the awareness that that's what sort of beauty and health should be.
Yeah.
But I'm still here to educate that, if you come to me and you're like, oh God, I wish my chin was longer and my cheeks were huge and I just grew up with a flat face and a nose, I'm not going to encourage that mindset.
Right.
Let's reframe it, right? So kind of going to micro beauty treatments, which is kind of a phrase I like to describe how we do beauty.
Yeah. I'm
going to look at you, my injectors are going to look at you, and we're going to find your own natural beauty and we're just going to enhance it. So you shouldn't look like you had anything done. You should look like a more stunning version of you.
Yeah.
So I think you saw that Caitlin had skin Vive done.
Yes, it's on her lips.
Not well enough known, but it's basically an injectable moisturizer.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's not going to fill and change the shape.
You're going to get it, babe.
It's going, yeah, I love it because.
I love injectable moisturizer. Those are great words.
Yes, they are. And it's just hyaluronic acid that's so tiny that it kind of sits right in the skin and gives you that dewy kind of glow on your cheek.
Okay.
We did use it in her lips because she didn't want volume. She just wanted a little
like a hydration?
Yeah, and our lips are naturally more hydrated when we're young. So that's why I consider it a restorative procedure versus like an altering procedure.
Right.
If you were not born with huge lips, it wasn't made for your face.
Right.
But we can do little things that kind of give you a little enhancement or make you look maybe how you did when you were just a little younger.
Or balance, maybe.
Balance,
even.
yeah. Plasma, PRF injections. So PRF is the new generation of PRP.
Okay.
And even newer than that is Easy Gel. So we can actually take your plasma, turn it into a PRF, which is a fibrin.
Okay.
It's a little thicker, and thicken it into a gel. And the reason why the gel is cool is if I put it, let's say your under eyes, it's a popular area because people get hollow under the eyes. Mm-hmm. Let's say I inject the plasma there or in the cheeks. What happens is the gel's so thick, it'll stay there for a while. And that growth factor, guess what it's going to do? It's going to produce collagen, elastin. A lot of people, when I post videos about PRF, they kind of go viral, but they always like, it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work. It's not a filler. So they're like, oh, I'm so full when I leave, and then it goes away. It's something you do, and with repetition, your body will transform and start to thicken that tissue and rejuvenate it as much as your body can.
Right.
It's not designed to be a filler, and you're not going to get that instant gratification of filler. Filler is not a demon in itself. It's just misused a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't like filler under the eyes. Injectors can probably talk about that for a long time. It can cause lymphatic drainage issues.
Oh my God.
I just think natural aesthetics take more patience, which people don't have in beauty.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just need a little bit more repetition with these procedures, but they do work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some things I love. Microneedling. I'm sure you know about that.
Yes.
But we do it, and we do it with exosomes. So as you microneedle, you put the exosomes into the skin. Exosomes is like the outer matrix of a stem cell.
Okay.
Tiny little molecule goes into the skin, causes rapid collagen production.
Do you get that out of the blood?
No, it's from a lab.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Embryonic stem cells are basically donated from women that have babies for science. Then science takes it and makes products out of it. Exosomes are approved. I'm pretty sure they are. Yes, they are FDA approved. It's the stem cells that they won't fully give approval to.
Yeah.
Exosomes are part of a stem cell, not to over, complicate explaining them, but they are part of one. They're just the part that I guess somehow got approved for mainstream use.
They just snuck past them when they weren't looking.
They probably have like an uncle in the business, and they're like, just approve him. He's my
Get
sister's.
him off our backs.
Yeah, he's my sister's. He's my sister's cell. What?
Cell?
Yeah, stem cell. It's not really a stem.
Right,
but they are using them in other forms of medicine, like orthopedics use them for knee regeneration and things like that. Plasma too. So they're not just used in the realm of beauty. They're used in a lot of different spaces in medicine. It's kind of this phrase of regenerative medicine, which I love. We want to regenerate ourselves. We want to alter ourselves. There's a difference. Yeah. So those are some of our most popular micro beauty treatments. We do filler, we do Botox. I'm not against those. Yeah. But I'd rather work on skin tightening and hydrating and restoring your health from the inside.
I like the idea that it's kind of like, okay, it's long-term and it's probably a little more expensive and like, you're not going to see it right away. But I've been hearing more and more that like the filler, I haven't gotten filler in my face. And that's, not one of the reasons why. It kind of is though, but like, it doesn't go away necessarily.
There's a lot of myths around that story that quickly spread out.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting. I don't know. The study that they did, there wasn't a lot of information about how often this person got filler. Now you have to remember, your body should take the filler, get rid of it over time. Yeah. But if you're getting it an insane amount, like every 3 to 6 months or something crazy, your body may get overwhelmed and it could get trapped in the face. So I don't feel like that case study that came out that kind of went all over the internet. Okay. I don't know that was completely the truth for everybody. It can be used in moderation. I think it has its place. Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. It's hyaluronic acid, which your body also makes. Right. So I'm not completely against it. I just think it shouldn't be your staple. Botox shouldn't be your staple either. A lot of people, they're just Botox addicts. Yeah. And the effect wears off over time. Your body gets used to it. And not only that, if you freeze your face constantly, the muscles in your face get weaker and actually drag down faster.
I've been saying that for years. Yes. Atrophy too. Yep.
So we do M-Face. M-Face is a muscle stimulator. It's like the opposite of Botox. I love that. Our muscles naturally weaken as we age. And so M-Face actually stimulates them with like magnetic frequency and pulls them back up. Oh, wow. And so that's a nice, again, alternative that restores your face without adding a poison to it, without freezing the face where the muscle will lose functionality. That's why when Botox wears off, most people are like, oh my God, why do I look like that? It wore off and I look so bad. People say it all the time. It's because for 3 months you weren't able to move a single muscle.
Right.
And then it just wore off and it's like droops.
And I'm assuming other muscles are going to compensate for that as well. Like if you're trying to make
Yeah. I think in the eyebrows you see that a lot. Yeah. People have kind of funny things going on with their facial expressions. So I'm a big educator on when people come in for Botox consults, which is still, again, a huge part of our business. It's just, hey, we can do laser skin tightening. We can do microneedling with radio frequency. We can do radio frequency is really big too. And there's a lot of myths around that one, that it melts your face off.
I've never heard that
Lasers can also burn your face off. So it's all misuse, right? So a lot of people don't know. I don't know why this is happening, but non-licensed professionals can get their hands on a lot of these devices.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah. Or just like, maybe they are licensed to use it, but they're not quite educated enough. So Morpheus, you've heard of Morpheus.
Yeah.
That's the big one where anytime I talk about radio frequency, everyone's in the comments, I don't want to melt my face off. I'm like, I've done it. It doesn't melt your face off. It was misused. And Morpheus lacks an internal regulation of temperature. So if I'm doing the treatment, it's not live telling me what the temperature is. So it can overheat and it can cause facial fat melting. So I don't use that device. Yeah. So again, educate yourself on devices, on your professional. Don't go for the cheapest price, people. Stop doing that.
I had a client who, she and a group of women, they would go to Mexico, basically take a bus, go over there and get filler. And Lord knows what was in that filler. And she came to me for years to try to smooth out the filler, whatever that was. I mean, God knows what it was. And it was
toothpaste.
What's that?
Toothpaste?
Yeah, it was probably toothpaste.
Yeah. Oh, cement. Yeah. Rubber cement.
Rubber cement. Yeah.
Give me rubber cement.
And I would try to like massage it so that it would like, at least if it doesn't break down, at least smooth it out for her, because she would cry a lot because you could definitely see like these worms of filler underneath. And
a nightmare.
I really don't think that was like an approved filler.
Probably
That's got to get in the way of your crying too. Like, because with your face, when you cry, it efficiently goes down. But now you have this little bump and now it's got to do this thing.
It's like climbing a mountain.
Yeah. He's always looking out for me. I'm
you got to be, you're always crying. Yeah, you're definitely a crier.
Yeah.
But you get all the stuff out of your eyes, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to put bumps over here for your tears. That's not cool.
You guys know it's also in the US. It's happening in the US. You can buy stuff from China. And, again, like I see all these Facebook groups of like in Los Angeles, where do you guys get Botox and how cheap can I get it? I'm like, be careful, because first of all, Botox, we are the ones mixing the powder with the bacteriostatic water. I can give you any amount of units and you don't know.
Right.
To be honest, quite frankly, you don't know. So if you're getting it for $8, $9 a unit, you're not getting a deal. I promise you. That's almost our cost. Like, I'm not actually exaggerating.
Yeah.
So people are obsessed with the deal too. Like, everyone, stop it. Like, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know how much you're getting. And I would be very wary of a professional that's ready to do Botox constantly for $8 a unit. It's a really popular thing. Like, I get it for $8 a unit. I'm like, good for you. We charge $14.
Good luck.
Because it's the real stuff.
Yeah, it's like going to the flea market and you're like, I got a great deal on Botox. It's like, what? Why would you do that? But people have no problem being like, oh, I got it on a website for cheap. They're like, oh, that was good score.
Yeah.
You're like, you have no idea what's in it.
It's creepy. But I think one of the reasons it's happening is girls are looking for it at way too young an age, where maybe they don't have the wealth to back up all these things, but they also don't need it. They're like 25-year-olds looking for a deal, So I'm like, you don't quite need it yet. Just work on being healthy in your 20s. That's really all you need to do.
And a good person. Work on being a good person.
Be a good person. Tackle your demons.
Yeah. Do the shadow work.
Go to a sound bath or two. In your 20s, really, people actually ask me, they're like, what can I do? And I did a little of this, not a lot. Just do microneedling. It's stimulatory. Get your facials done. Maybe get a peel if you have acne or pigment, but you don't need Botox. Don't start freezing your face before your face has even fallen. It's really kind of, you're not setting yourself up for a better future. But that's, again, it's like misinformation about beauty. They think if I do Botox now, I'll look the same age till I'm 40. That's not exactly how it works. It's deeper than that. So
it's yeah. Well, do you recommend that people do their own microneedling with like the ones that you can buy, like the shorter needles?
My only concern with those is like the bacteria gets stuck on those. And I know you clean them, but we obviously replace the tip every time. I don't know. I don't use them myself. So those are my mixed feelings about it, is I think you could be reintroducing things into your skin with them. So here's the thing. Like if you do microneedling 4 times a year with a professional, you've boosted your collagen by 400%.
Whoa.
Just go get it done.
Yeah.
You don't have to also, it's like how many treatments you want to do at home every night, rolling your skin. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Same thing with red light therapy. I do think it works. And a really good hack with red light is use it with green tea. So if you spray your face with green tea and then you do your red light, it makes it 10 times more effective.
I've never heard that before.
They've done studies on it.
That's amazing.
And like they've done studies with like red light therapy and cells and green tea, and it actually can reverse cancer cells. So
I know
really cool things.
Yeah, I know it penetrates your skin up to an inch, right? Underneath.
It can. The devices matter. Like the reason why a medical grade device like the one I have versus yours, the difference is called the radiance levels.
Okay.
So radiance is the part of light that helps dictate how far into the skin it's going to go.
Right.
And so at-home treatments are okay. I'm not going to say they're bad, but again, a lot of places are popping up where you could go once a week, do a 30-minute treatment. It's the same as like sitting 30 minutes every night for a week. You know what I mean?
Okay, right.
So I'm not saying go spend all your money in spas. I'm just saying there is a difference between, I'm not a big fan of tons of at-home care. It exhausts me.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather once a month or once every other month get treatments done.
Just pop in and get some stuff done. Yeah.
It's easier going.
Yeah.
Like I just do really good skincare at home. I get a facial every month and I do my med spa beauty things, but I don't love elaborate at-home rituals. I think it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
And who knows if they're doing anything.
Exactly.
I mean, these devices are way too cheap. I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah, it's scary.
So that's where I'm at with that. But red light is great. It's powerful. Yeah. Light therapy in general is really powerful. So each color does different things. Like purple helps with lymphatic drainage. Yellow helps with making glowy skin. Red is known to help with pain and inflammation. So they all kind of do different things. We have different protocols based on what you want. So
I mean, you can actually see it through your hand.
Yeah.
Like and people like they freak out when I show them. I'm like, look, you can see like the red glow through there. So that's going through. It's doing something.
It's doing something.
It's causing your cells to like act healthier or, like.
Well, we're made of light.
That's true.
Believe it or not, we're all just energy molecules. There's nothing that separates anything. So light travels through to show you what you're really made of.
Wow.
And that's the shaman Jen coming out.
Would you say that there's like, it almost seems like from hearing you talk, like the majority of like the pharmacology, everything is in the body already.
Yes.
And a lot of it is like the light and everything that's stimulated.
Yes.
It's like mimicking natural light, but then like altering the amount of it or like specificity of it.
Yes.
That's just, it's fascinating how it's,
it is.
the majority of it's just naturally there, but honed.
You're just working with it.
Yeah.
It's like really magic. Cool. It's like unlocking the secrets of the body, of the universe. I mean, we were probably meant to be outside a lot more. There are certain parts of the sun's frequencies that help heal cells. We're not really in the sun a lot. And the sun's been demonized too.
Yes.
So that's a whole other thing. I won't really deeply get into. I have my own beliefs about the sun. I don't think the sun is the problem.
Right.
For example, the study that revealed UV radiation causes cancer cells, it didn't cause it consistently. It caused it in the rats in a study that were eating sugar diets.
Oh my gosh.
So it shows you it's sort of interacting with you. And so everything has its good and dark side, right? Like radio frequency, laser lights, you can use too much. You can melt your face, right? You can burn your skin. Everything has to be used just right so that you get the right result. There is a special balance to everything. And you guys know about grounding, like walking on earth, stuff like that. We don't do as much.
No,
actually, probably hardly at all if you think about it. And those are ways you can naturally heal that are so accessible that I really encourage people to look into, because these are some of the things I'm mimicking, believe it or not, with peptides.
Oh, interesting.
So look into what grounding really does. It charges the cells. So the cells in your body are electric, but because of all these technologies surrounding us, oh my God, right now in this room, I'm even looking. It's creating a negative charge. So we have to use positive ions to go back to neutral.
Right.
So and then your cells are not as chaotic and they heal faster. And so it all, your body is a universe, honestly, of its own. And it does have a lot of magic in it. It has secret codes to, reverse aging, probably time travel, honestly, if we just learn how.
I think anything. It has a drop of everything in it.
It does.
If that makes sense. Did that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like you look into water, it's gonna mimic, the universe, or I don't.
Do you guys know about the water studies, like Dr. Yamamoto? You ever heard about it?
No.
Water is magical. Water holds your consciousness. So if you talk to water, they create new,
yes.
the hydrogen and oxygen create a new angle to their bond. Depending on what you say to it, if you say, I love you, if I say, I'm so lucky, whatever, I talk to my water all the time.
Yeah.
You guys don't?
I don't,
should.
but
I will now.
To start. Yeah.
Especially in the
I
shower.
am so funny.
Yeah.
I am so
Yeah. That's exactly.
So when you drink the water talks to your cells. The cells become part of your energy and you believe it more. And so I believe water is like the physical manifestation of holding our consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It holds anything we tell it. It also holds hate, anger. That's why tap water is unhealthy. It travels through harsh angles. Like that was part of Dr. Yamoto's studies.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like
That.
90-degree angles, which it doesn't like. Water is not supposed to flow like that.
Uh-huh.
And then through these like old, dingy, disgusting pipes full of whatever.
Yeah.
So they did studies on what the water looks like when it's frozen and looking under a microscope. And it's these like chaotic structures. And then if you drink it, your body literally digests it like it's a poison.
Yeah.
Including bottled water.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Especially bottled water.
I don't drink bottled water. I would rather be thirsty.
I have a glass bottle wherever it went. Yeah. So that's another really important thing for people to know. If you're dying of thirst and your only option is bottled water, you're literally better off not drinking. Right?
Yeah.
I've eaten sand before.
Just a big glass of sand.
Yeah.
I started telling people that years ago, and now they're like, I almost taste it now. I know what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, you really, plastic and water,
We've been talking about
frequency of them do not mesh well.
No.
And so water gets really upset in plastic. It doesn't like its life there.
It sits in the back of a truck somewhere and it's in the heat and it's
and then the
leaching into it. Yeah, it's so
yeah,
gross.
So it's an industry, that again, we've been told to use. You guys remember back in the 80s and 90s, we didn't even drink water. We were fine.
I have a whole bit about there was a time when the bottled water didn't even exist.
It didn't. And we were okay.
Yeah. You would just take a canteen if you were going that far away from your house.
But we actually are meant to get most of our water from fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables, instead of it being H2O, it's H3O, which is more hydrating to your cells.
Oh.
So we were drinking orange juice, but real orange juice that we were like squeezing ourselves. That's how the 80s were. They were magical like that. That's why we didn't need water. We were fine. Like it's a little bit of a lie.
Oh yeah.
The water lie, the water myth.
I think you can almost you wash away some of your electrolytes too if you overwater.
Absolutely. Not to mention if the water is full of crap, you're actually making your body unhealthy, like by drinking water, which is so crazy to think about. And so these are the things I want to spread these messages outward, because drinking the right kind of water, like alkaline filtered water, you will enhance your beauty just from that. So invest in your water. Do you guys have like the Kagan water maker?
No, we should have one, but
worth it. I know it's expensive. These things cost something, but then you think about, what am I spending on these things in a passive way?
Right.
It's not as much as you think when you think of it that way. We're just taught in America not to invest upfront. Everything is pay over time, pay $2 a day, So we have to learn how to also organize the way we invest in ourselves and not make everything a monthly payment of $10. But sometimes those tricks make it worse in a way, because you have no idea it's happening.
Yeah.
You end up spending way more than you think. And usually you're getting a way worse product, right? Like buying a bottle of water every day. I mean, I can't believe people do that.
I can't either. There's whole sections in the grocery store where it's just literally like an aisle of water in a bottle. Like, it's so crazy.
If you go into Rite Aid, I don't know if all the Rite Aids are the same, but the one that I've been in, there's just shelves of water.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that. I'm like, well, where's all this stuff go? It's a travesty from the beginning to end. It's terrible.
It really is. It's a waste of plastic.
It's such a waste. It's wasting, and also like, I don't want it touching plastic. I don't want my water touching plastic.
No, plastic has got to go.
Yeah.
We have a lot of alternatives we could easily use. It's just like pharmaceuticals. They have their place. I think Western medicine is really good at saving your life. If you're in an emergency and you need help right now, it saved my life once, but it's not meant to maintain your life.
Got it. Right. I like that.
It's kind of how you look at it. I have a lot of friends who are doctors, and I have a lot of respect for them. They absolutely could save people's lives, but to maintain your life and to create health, they're not the ones to help you.
Right.
I mean, you can lean on them, but you're not going to feel that great.
But what do you feel about Ozempic? You were talking a little bit. Is that where does
Ozempic
that
is
fall
one of the
there?
GLP ones.
Okay.
So I don't love Ozempic because it's an older generation GLP one. It has a lot of side effects.
Okay.
Like upset stomach, like vomiting even, and nausea. I think they've been refining these peptides really well. My two favorites that I highly recommend are going to be tirzepatide and retatrutide. And if you can really pick and you can find it, retatrutide is the best of the best because you can take a very small dose. It will work on your hunger without you realizing it. Your blood levels will be balanced, but it's going to help your body learn how to metabolize fat again.
Ooh,
which a lot of people, it's not just about not eating. Their body doesn't remember how to burn fat.
Right.
It doesn't remember. So you're activating a memory. It knew at one point.
Yeah.
And so you can be on these things for some time and slowly get off and your body will readjust.
Okay.
So people use them as they want. We usually recommend like a 6 to 12 month journey.
And how is it administered
It
to you?
is injected, very painless. You're usually doing it in your belly and it's a paper thin needle. So they're easy. People get a little bit scared about that. We do it in office too, like people come weekly, but most people we just teach you and it's not that bad at all. It doesn't hurt at all. And you do it once a week.
Yeah.
And the reason why I suggest 6 to 12 months, despite how much weight you have to lose, is we want to get you stable. We want to kind of train the body for a while to stay at that weight, understand those signals, retrain how you think about food. There's a psychological component.
Absolutely. That's huge.
So getting on it for a month or two, people ask, are like, can I just lose 20 pounds and get off? I'm like, you can. You probably might gain it back.
Also, your skin's probably going to be dragging on the ground if you lose it that fast. Too.
Depending how old you are, yes. Yeah, your body may not snap back fast enough. You can lose rapid amounts of weight on these, which a lot of people want to do. And it depends where you're starting. Yeah, I mean, if you have like 100 pounds to lose, you're going to deal with some skin issues no matter what.
That's true too.
But it's still worth it. And you know, you'll figure that part out. There are treatments, there are things. Some people opt for surgery, whatever it is. You know, some people have gained a lot. They've got to lose a lot. You know, and so it's worth the loose skin to trade it off for good health and vibrancy and feeling good. So, so I'm a big fan.
All right. So if you had to recommend, and we're going to just, this will be like wrapping it up.
Okay.
But if you had to recommend like, just like a basic, I don't know, what would you say like the basic 3 things that you would recommend for somebody to just maintain or it to re-stimulate like your youth?
Your youth or your beauty or
kind
of both?
Okay. Let's talk both.
So in the realm of just like the face, microneedle your face 4 times a year. Okay. With exosomes. Do it with. Pay the extra. Trust me. You're already opening up the skin. You might as well give it something to boost that collagen faster.
Right.
I also, you know what? I'd say even that is pretty good. Like now, where I build on that is your aging concerns. Do you have hollowness in your face? Are your under eyes bothering you? So it's not the same for everyone, but that one is like a staple. Okay. It's like, just do it. Trust me, you will thank me. Your face will change just from that.
4 times a year, you said?
4 times a year.
Yeah, got it.
So once a quarter.
Yeah.
And then.
Fiscally speaking.
Yeah.
Fiscally speaking, Q1, I had it done. And then consider some anti-aging injections like NAD, which I actually didn't speak about yet. NAD is also another naturally occurring molecule in your body. It does a couple different things that help with anti-aging. It helps cellular energy. So, you know, when you're fatigued and you're slow and that's your cells. They're not getting energy from the mitochondria well because it's the NAD is not, you don't make as much as you age. So you can get injections once a week. They're not, they're kind of the ones you get in office because they're intramuscular. They give an exorbitant amount of energy to the cell, but they also help reverse aging. So they help repair tissue. So I get NAD done every week. You could do once a month. Do what fits your lifestyle. Yeah. And also appropriate for your age. You know, it depends on what we're dealing with. Like, again, I'm 4,000, so I've got to know a lot.
These are alien years, right?
Yeah.
Alien years, past lifetimes. I count it all. Yeah. I've been here way too many times. Hopefully this is my last. Okay, so you know, we do customize it, but microneedling is one of those, I'm like, it works for everyone. Just freaking do it.
Yeah, but do it with the exosomes.
Do it with the exosomes and ask. Most med spas have it.
Okay.
It's just, it almost costs more than the microneedling itself.
Okay.
But again, it's worth it.
You're already sticking a needle in your face, so you might as well.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, everything else is cookie cutter. It depends on the person.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's the same for everyone. So yeah, you can do, you know, vitamin infusions if you're low on energy. That's where you start to think about the person
Do you guys do IVs?
Yeah, we do IVs. Yeah, we do a lot of IVs. Glutathione is an IV we do a lot of, about.
Rachel's big into that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it is a molecule that helps break down pigment that's like stuck in the skin. So it brightens and evens our skin tone, because as we age, our skin naturally becomes like more of a mosaic. Like there's so many different pigment colors going on. Yeah. You can't tell, but it actually indicates when you look at someone how old you think they are. Oh. You kind of like analyze that subconsciously. You're like, oh yeah, there's unevenness in their skin tone.
Sitting in a makeup chair, I didn't realize how much. You're like, oh, wow, a lot of... And they're like, oh, you have to really match this up. I'm like, oh, I had no idea there's so many different shades.
So many shades.
That's so funny.
That's why we wear foundation and we feel better, because we're evening our skin tone. Or like, when you're doing a photo shoot, you want tons of light. It's kind of bleaching out the pigment variations in our face. That's why lighting could be so harsh on how we look. It's shining the light on those things. Oh, man. So peels, I'm sure peels are great too for that. So there's just so many fun ways to go about anything. You just do what kind of calls to you based on what you need. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love this whole conversation. I wish we could just talk about like
for
everything
the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. You can move in with us.
Yes. Okay, guys. I'm coming. Let's do it.
Well,
I was going to ask you where people can find you on social, but first of all, what's the name of your spa? Just so we get out there. Yes.
So we're Total Body Aesthetics.
Okay.
Right now we are in Westchester. We are transitioning to moving to Marina Del Rey. But we have parking. We have such a great team. I mean, they are all embedded with the ethos of everything I spoke about today, but they're also just really kind, sweet, amazing people. You guys can see our reviews. People really love them. And I feel like I specifically wanted to curate a team that made you just feel comfortable. I mean, you're in a place where you're kind of like a little vulnerable. You're coming for weight loss or, something about your face you want to improve. So it's really nice to have people that make you feel good.
Nice support system.
Yeah. They're really, really great team. And so, we're there. We do endless fun things. I feel that we do a little bit more than I've seen out there compared to the run-of-the-mill med spa. Mm-hmm. So I like to toot my own horn with that. But at the same time, you're going to start to see these things everywhere. This is sort of the new era. I'm just on the forefront of it. I'm just making sure I stay.
And you have parking. That's going to get so many more.
We have parking.
Just people who have parking, they're like, I don't care what it is. I'll be there.
Yeah, where we're moving, we're making sure there is a lot too, thank God. Because it really just ruins your day when you arrive somewhere.
I know. Sorry about that.
That's another stressful part too.
It really is in LA. I mean, if you're not in LA watching this, it's probably fine. But in LA, it's like, I don't go places that I know I can't buy. It gives me anxiety. I'm like, what am I going to do when I get there? So we're there.
Very
My
cool.
socials. Okay, so on Instagram, we're Total Body Aesthetics LA. Mm-hmm. I think that's our same on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm more candid and I talk about the things we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I kind of go on rants about things.
More candid than this?
Sometimes.
Oh, I got to watch that.
I'm just kind of brutally honest with people about the things they're saying online about beauty, because I like to set the record straight. And honestly, the thing is, this about social media, you guys know, people just talk with a lot of authority and you believe them. Mm-hmm. But it's like, did you really do your own research? If you heard something that you want to know more about, please do the research. Use ChatGPT. It'll tell you. Yeah. You don't have to trust everything you hear. There was a girl who was, she's actually, I don't know her name and I'm not trying to call anyone out. She's really sweet. She gives a lot of advice about manifesting your dream life, but she went on a rampage about filler. She's like, it is destroying faces. Look at all these puffer fish faces. And listen, I get it, but calm down. You're making people feel bad who are considering it. And you also don't know all the facts around it. And just speaking with authority doesn't make it true. Like you're not a doctor, and you're not that you have to be a doctor to speak on it, but then have the words to back up what you're saying. Don't just passionately say it's terrible for you because you heard another viral clip on TikTok. So there's a lot of that. So I do a lot of, setting the record straight. On Instagram, we do a lot more highlighting of what our practice looks like, the before and afters. As you know, they're kind of different vibes. Yeah. So we're a little different on those two. And you'll see two different sides of us on both. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jen. And I'm going to be, you're going to take me over there and have some things done that I'm not going to tell you about until later.
I know. I know.
She's going to come back looking like an alien. Yeah. No big deal.
Yeah, it's okay. We can take a ride in the spaceship.
And for my alien lovers, my personal is Cosmic Love Bunny. And I'm mentioning that if some things I said just piqued your interest, because that's where I talk about my spiritual stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So that's you'll see it infused in my beauty, but that's who I am as a person. So
I don't think I've ever met any doctor like you ever. So
Thank you.
I'm just super impressed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
guys.
you didn't bill our insurance to come here today, so that's pretty cool.
That's positive.
I don't
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
All right. And we'll get, see you guys. This will be out probably Wednesday, 3 a.m. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Exciting. Bye.